And this is a time to reflect, pause, and be patient. Now, as much as it's a time to be patient, you're going to still be pushing forward a lot. There's the most amount of sunlight during this season in the summer. And cardinal energy, aka cardinal water from Cancer, is very much active and alive. So, what am I saying? Hit the thumbs up. I don't care if you remember or not. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you. So, what am I saying? Cardinal water is an emotional push. It is the timeline and time frame where you really need to be passionate about what you're doing. You really need to be emotionally invested behind every action. If it's not lighting you up, making you feel successful, making you feel deeply satisfied, thank you for those thumbs up. Um, oh crap, I thought I made this for members only, but it's looking like I might have not did that. All right, y'all got a free one. That's okay, y'all getting a free one. It's supposed to be for members, but I guess I just messed that up. So that's it. The summer solstice, this is the timeline where what you are manifesting back in the spring is in full fruition. Okay, they're physically beginning to manifest, but you have to be emotionally invested in that thing. Okay, in that passion. Now, Venus is in Cancer, Mercury is in Cancer, and the thing about these two is our mind is going to be backtracking right now, and is going to be thinking about, wow, where and at what point was my mental status challenged, my mental stability, my mental focus and emotional energy, where was it challenged through a very tough event that now it's in the past, now it's 10 years later, now it's 14 years later, but I find that my mind is staying stuck or wants to release the mental patterns from that trauma or that damage or that emotional turmoil that made you feel very uncomfortable in previous stages of your life. And the thing is, Mercury in Cancer also has that ability with the third house rulership to change our mind, to change how we think about it, to change our perspective, to no longer see that event as good or bad, but with the 12th house rulership, to see through the eyes of gratitude. And what you'll realize is, at the end of the day, you are a living god or goddess who is housed in a physical body. And that inner god or goddess within you is offering you a beautiful lesson and blessing to see through the eyes of gratitude. That everything you're doing right now is fulfilling your purpose. It's fulfilling your biggest dreams, your biggest hopes. So it's like you asked for justice and you got justice. Justice actually has been served. But now it's like, can you witness that the justice is being served in a way that's actually different to the mental constructs than what you may have assumed? Hit that thumbs up and that likes button, baby. I appreciate y'all for thank you. And that's something very critical because one of the beautiful things, and this happened in my dream the other day, Cancer has the ability to change the way it decides to shape its thoughts, the way it decides to shape its feelings, and most importantly, the way it decides to shape its experience. So your experience of something that you've lost, whether it's a person, a loved one that you've lost, whether it's somebody in your community or your group that you've lost, somebody you valued, that an income source, one of your multiple income source streams, you probably lost one, but you had the time and opportunity to look at how many you've gained, how many are more aligned, how many more are authentic. So this is a huge time where you're going to be reflecting on what did you lose as for an income stream, who did you lose as for a person, as a part of a group, somebody who used to support your dreams, somebody who used to support your emotional passions. And now they're not here, but they've offered you lessons. And so, this Cancer season, summer solstice, is a time to really be patient and realize that even though there's more sunlight and that sunlight is bringing a greater sense of awareness, Leo is when you're gonna kind of wild out with it. But then kind of not really, because Venus in Leo will go retrograde. And so, yeah, it'll have that more chance, but I think the bigger push is right now. But the push is required to be met with patience, with virtue, with understanding, with the chance and opportunity to change your mind about what that experience was, how it manifested, and what it was meant to teach you, and what it was meant to show you as for how blessed you've been, how blessed you are. And what's going to happen is going to be a lot of themes and patterns from the family's conditionings that's going to step up and step back into your life. It's going to show you, hey, remember, are you still attaching your sense of worth, your sense of self to who you were 11 years ago, 13 years ago? And you're having an emotional cleanse from that timeline as well. But the sun is in Cancer, meaning you're washing your identity. And that's what's so beautiful right now. You are washing away the low self-worth that you had 10, 12, 15 years ago. 10, 12, 15 years ago, you didn't care about yourself. 10, 12, 15 years ago, you were depressed. 10, 12, 15 years ago, you were grieving. But the grief, the depression, the anxiety, it was so heavy that you never processed that. And it took you incrementally, step by step, brick by brick, that 10, 12, 15 years to begin to process something that was truly traumatic in your life. Whether it was infidelity and you were cheated on, whether someone in your family had went through a loss, grandma, uncle, niece, nephew, brother, sister, dad. These things were too great for you to handle with who and what the tools you were equipped with then. So essentially God gave you the blessing of the mind to say, we're going to let you process this over 12 years. And I was reminded today by my partner, as you hit that thumbs up and that likes button, I appreciate you, that there's a saying in Spanish. Man, I don't remember right now. Al menos is less. But it says something like, it translates to English to, the pain divided by 2 equals less. So my point is, this is a time frame where Mercury in the 3rd house, you have time to share with your friends, to share with the media, to share with your influence, the outlets that you influence through media outlets, your story, your pain, your anxiety, your depression from 10, 12, 15 years ago. Because the thing about Cancer, that if you do not allow yourself to do this, what happens is it continues to replicate the past in the future, in the present. It replicates the past in the future, in the present, and it continues to experience that pain as if it was very real today. Now understand that this is what we like to call a sacred wound. And sacred wounds are the things where you feel the pain, but it's not as sharp. It's more contingent on allowing yourself to cleanse and move through and turn that wound into a sacred wound where it only reminds you how far you've come. It reminds you how far you've grown. It reminds you of how far you've healed, how deeply you've healed. Because when you talk 12th house, Mercury in the 12th house, this is the deepest healing. It's also the deepest self-examination, which is what allows you to go deep enough to heal the wound in a way where it turns into a blessing. It turns into a story. It turns into a myth. You are in a process right now during the summer solstice of becoming a myth. Your story is mythical. It will be written throughout all time. And it will become an inspiration for the generations and the families who are not even born yet. And this takes courage to take that step and move forward that deeply into who you are and what you're here to do, what you were karmically designed to exist for. So this is the summer solstice. This is supposed to be for members only, but hey, look, maybe this gives you the incentive to join our members channel, because I dead ass made a mistake. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up and the likes button. I'll see you soon. I'm out of here.